rates on the rise? You don't want to miss out on your opportunity to lock in a low rate. Call Hall Financial today to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Our commitment to speed and client service has earned us over 4,000 5-star. Get started now at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, NMLS ID 1467435. Equal housing lender.
We are all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and find your one thing. Avoid giving useless gifts and knickknacks this holiday season. And look for durable items that will last for years. One Thing is brought to you by GFL Environmental. Green for life.
97.1 The Ticket and WWJ News Radio 950. Your homes for the NFL on Westwood One. The New Orleans Saints host the Dallas Cowboys. Thursday night football. Pregame at 8 on News Radio 950. WWJ.
You're listening to the best of Stoney and Jesse and Heather on 97.1 The Ticket. There are days you don't watch on this situation.
That was close.
I gotta be honest, there are days like today I wish that the general public, I'm sure nobody would How are you, Roach?
Yeah, but you know what? That would be such. I thought about stuff like that. That would be such a hard thing to write.
Yeah, I know.
How do you capture what happened and put into proper emotions and pretend like you have any idea what people are going through? We have no idea. And it's. I mean, I watched all that long press conference, which I thought Michael Bouchard, the sheriff, they all did a fabulous job at least explaining and responding. And that audio that Heather played of the, we're pretty sure that's the kid, right?
Yes, we're pretty sure.
Now, has it been confirmed? It seemed like the voice was so deep. I thought, well, that would have fooled me. I would have thought that was the sheriff. And
Right.
the bro, of course. Oh, whatever. It's just chilling. And the great others are passing along the story. They're doing a great job on a horrific thing.
Yes. All right. On a lighter situation, let's start with the Tigers, with the Baez deal. I'm not thrilled with it because he strikes out so much. Maybe I was, hoping so much for Correa, and it's not my money, but they are much better now than they were 2 days ago when this, with him. But it's still, I still feel a little empty with it. Is that fair?
No, I don't think it's fair.
Okay.
And matter of fact, I think you're a bad person for feeling that way. Sorry. But no, and we all did it. I mean, I did it too. I would have preferred Correa, but because we made it a Correa versus everybody thing, when actually you get down to it, it should be a Baez versus Nico Goodwin or something like that. But even at this precise time, the Tigers never said, now maybe they should go over $300 million or whatever. But I think they've learned a bit of a lesson from the past. And so please don't use the word. Rieger used this word last night on our little show, and he triggered me. He said, it's underwhelming. I said, wait. The Tigers, who have been begging to pay money for a shortstop, get one of the 4 or 5 best there are, and pay $123 million a year, not 30, but 23, and you're under. I call them a spoiled little brat. Okay, I didn't quite call him that, but and Tony, I understand the feeling, but I think people need to keep it in perspective just a little bit. He is out. Yes, he strikes out too much. That is his primary flaw. But he's a great defensive player. He was second in the NL MVP voting 2 full seasons ago, in 2018. So, and he's got some pop in his bat. Get over it already, Tony.
Okay.
Well, so here's a question that I don't know the answer to, which is obviously why I'm going to ask it. Has this become official, and will it be official by 11:59? If not, what happens after 11:59 if it's not?
Well, then they go get Correa. No.
Thank you.
No, listen, and you're right. I mean, there is always that hang up, and we do have to be cognizant of that. And I'm joking with what Tony said and what Rieger said. I get totally how people feel. I just feel, okay, feel that way now, but understand what it'll be like when he's out there playing and you're not talking about his contract 5 years from now, or maybe even 2 years from now. Who knows? But I assume they're going to get everything done, the physical's done and everything else. But who knows? It's the wild, wild west right now.
Speaking of the wild, wild west, Wojo, what if
Go.
There we
Got your
go.
pencil ready?
Bama, Michigan, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma State all lose?
Oh, wait, all lose?
Yeah, 2 through 5. The chaos ensues. All 5 lose.
Right, so Georgia's automatically in it. So there's one.
Georgia would be in. Alabama with 2 losses, especially if they lose soundly.
Okay.
They'd have to be out. They've had a lot of close calls this year, too. Well, I think
Michigan would have 2 losses. Cincinnati would have 1
All
loss.
lost.
maybe out. Cincinnati would be out. So
Oklahoma State would have 2 losses.
Georgia would just play itself. I guess. No. Notre Dame would go up. You know, if that did happen, you know what it could come down to? Depending on how your theoretical laws happen,
Right.
what the Michigan-Iowa game looked like. Because you couldn't. Could you put Ohio State back in over Michigan, a 2-loss team?
Well,
No, because they're a 2-loss team to begin with, too.
but Oregon, let's say Oregon beats Utah, they're a 2-loss team that beat Ohio State.
Well, no, by your scenario, a 2-loss team would have to be in,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
There'd have to be a couple 2-loss teams, probably.
Yeah,
What
well,
about-
if you're not taking Cincinnati or Notre Dame, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, true. And Notre Dame would get in. Cincinnati with 1 loss, no. Well, since you said Oklahoma State would have lost, and that means I would put Baylor in, I guess.
How much does not having a head coach affect the selection process for Notre Dame?
Great point, and the Gary Barta guy was asked about that last night,
Yeah.
and he said they factor it in. He said when you make the final analysis, you're looking at the team that is going into the playoffs. We factor in key players missing, and yes, we're allowed to factor in coaches missing. And I wouldn't mind, I mean, it would be double punishing players.
Yes.
Nothing to do with Brian Kelly. I get that. But if you don't think he's a big part of why they're a good team, I mean, I don't know if he's a deciding factor, but yeah, they should factor it.
If that becomes the tiebreaker in their minds, they're fools.
Oh.
And especially if
Your head coach isn't there?
I'm sorry, the kids are on the field and both coordinators are going to be there. I'm sorry. Suppose he got COVID like 3 days before the game. I mean, sometimes crap happens.
Yeah, you can still call it from the press box. You can call it from home.
And suppose that they announced that Marcus Freeman is going to be the head coach going forward. And he's
Well, I don't think it would be the overriding factor, the deciding factor. And if your chaos happened, they would get in.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it proved what we've always said, that Notre Dame is much more of a stepping stone job than Michigan State is. Or Michigan. We've always said that.
Yes, well, it's clearly a stepping stone because Mel Tucker didn't step to LSU. It was Brian Kelly.
Right, and you know what? When the Mel Tucker contract happened, again, I was like, everybody, okay, if you want to ante up, go right ahead. But watch what had happened. Michigan State shouldn't care
No.
the dominoes. It wasn't totally because of that contract, but that had a factor in all the dominoes. These coaches like, whoa. How much money is out there with the TV contract? And it was the Lincoln Riley thing, but the Brian Kelly thing. That was just so unseemly. And that's the one thing that everybody, dislikes about college football, the hypocrisy, the fake loyalty that a lot of people show.
Could Lincoln Riley be to the Pac-12 what Nick Saban was to the SEC, Urban Meyer to the Big Ten? Hell, you could even say Dabo to the ACC.
I think he could because the Pac-12 sucks. Outside of like Oregon and who knows what Washington